This is completely devastating and hard to believe that in 2 days there can be plane crashes and incidents of this nature. And thoughts go out to anybody concerned, anybody who's related to the people who've sadly lost their life, and anyone who's been affected by this story that's coming out as we speak. This is real-time breaking news. Another plane has crashed. It's a small plane. It's been described as being a Learjet. There's 2 doctors on board, 1 patient, 2 pilots, and a family member of the patient in northeast Philly. So it's not very clear exactly what has happened, although there's been a video from a doorbell recording of when the explosion took place and something fell out of the sky. As you'll hear in the news report, this took place in northeast Philly. It was a small plane, a Learjet 55 with 6 passengers on board. There's no clear indication that it was a collision. The video clearly shows something exploding, a massive explosion that lights up the sky. Debris has been found over a wide range, a wide area, over several blocks or more, and it's an emergency that's unfolding as we speak. Yes, get to the video and you'll hear in the report there's been a lot of eyewitness suggestions as to what might have took place, and as I said, the information's coming in as we speak. It's completely unfathomable that something like this can happen in such a short space of time. Let's go.
Now from Fox, I'm Andrew Kraft. Live picture there in Philadelphia. We do have some breaking news there in the city of brotherly love. I want to put this tweet up from our colleague there at Fox 29, reporter Chris O'Connell. He says there have been several reports of a plane crash into a building in northeast Philadelphia. Fox 29 Philadelphia have been covering this story within the last few minutes. They are sending reporters to the scene. I believe some of those reporters are on the scene as well here. You can see Steve Keeley shooting this video from his cell phone. He says bulletin airplane crash there on Roosevelt Boulevard. He says fires burning in multiple spots on Cottman Avenue. He says pieces of airplane scattered there on the ground. Jason Martinez with this video saying this is being described as a plane crash in the area of Bustleton and Cottman Avenues in northeast Philly. That's a doorbell camera provided by a viewer there to Fox 29. Let's take it full here. Look at that. And you see the nighttime sky light up in orange. Wow. In the meantime here, Fox 29 in Philadelphia is in breaking news coverage of this. Let's listen.
This is Jason Martinez here in the Fox 29 newsroom. You were looking at what's being described as a plane crash in northeast Philadelphia. This is doorbell camera provided by a viewer. Left of your screen, you saw the fireball come out of the sky. Again, this is being described to us as a plane crash northeast Philadelphia in the area of Bustleton and Cottman Avenues. You saw the left of your screen, the fireball come right out. Take another closer look there. And so this just happening here in the last 20 minutes or so. Again, northeast Philadelphia. I believe we have Steve Keeley in the area on the phone. Steve, what can you tell us? Do we have Steve? We do not appear to have Steve at the moment. As soon as we get him, we'll bring it to you. But again, viewer-provided video from a doorbell camera in northeast Philadelphia showing a fireball fall out of the sky. Of course, the northeast Philly airport, just less than a mile away from this location. And so a lot of viewers have been calling our newsroom and telling us that they believe this was a plane crash in this area of Bustleton and Cottman. But this doorbell camera video makes you question exactly what we're seeing. Here's a closer look. And really, I can only describe that as a fireball that falls out of the sky. And again, this is Roosevelt Mall, I believe, the parking lot in northeast Philly. And this is ground video that we're just getting in. You're seeing it as I am seeing it. Police taping the area off, smoke and debris in this area. And this, of course, all happening as we are still sorting through a plane crash that happened in D.C. No word on the size of the plane that crashed, what caused it. We are just learning this. There's some.
I'll stay back here. I'm gonna.
Okay, now we have Steve. Steve, if you can hear me, what can you tell us?
Jason, Jason, I was just warned. I'm fairly close. I was nearby. This happened at 6 o'clock. I got it confirmed by 6:13 and 6:14. And then a top commander in the department told me his house shook. He called the bomb squad, and they told him a plane had crashed. Then lots of calls came in. I was nearby. I saw everybody racing over here. I raced with them. I'm looking at 2 fires going right now on Cottman Avenue. I'm standing in one of the driveways to the Roosevelt Mall. As I ran over here, I parked in the McDonald's at Cottman and the Boulevard. I wondered what I was tripping over, and it was pieces of an airplane scattered in the mall parking lot. They then began roping that off, and the heavy smell of jet fuel is in the air and has been in the air. There is still black smoke. The fires are not under control, and then an officer just told me to take cover behind the police and fire vehicle I'm there because there's a gas line nearby. Another commander told me cars were on fire. This was in rush hour. I know it because I was just on Cottman Avenue seconds before this, approaching the Boulevard when this plane crashed. So it was wall-to-wall cars approaching Cottman and the Boulevard, so people were stopped in traffic. I don't know if cars are on fire in front of me or parts of the plane, but it looks like multiple fires, and the fires are not right next to each other. They're a good 100 yards from each other. So there is a string of damage and a string of fires. This mall is under some kind of construction, so they have a tarp around about a 6-foot-tall tent. Every police officer, every fire department member in the city must be up here right now, and there's still more coming on the way. There is so much smoke in the air going right over the mall right here, and this mall was packed too. They had to move all the people back for their own good, and the air quality is not good for them, but everybody was out here. Now I can see one car I'm looking through the fence, Jason. I'm looking down in front of the Dunkin' Donuts on Cottman, and again, this is right before the Boulevard. Right in front of the Dunkin' Donuts, it looks like an SUV is on fire, and the flames are all through the street. And there's so many fires here, and the fire department's also trying to worry about that gas line that's in danger. Now I'm counting the fires, Jason. 1, 2, 3, 4 fires I can see right here, all spread out along Cottman Avenue right now. Steve, I can't see what's burning.
Steve, we are looking at viewer doorbell camera of what looks like just a fireball falling out of the sky, and as this plane hits the ground, just flames just immense. And we see a shot now on the ground. We see looks like some cars are on fire here. You say you smell jet fuel?
Yeah, I can still smell it. There's a smell of fuel in the air, a heavy smell. And if they're reporting a fireball falling out of the sky, the parts of the airplane I saw were not burned. And again, we're near Northeast Philly Airport. It would be an unreal coincidence if there was another midair collision here. I don't know, but and I didn't see any fireball in the sky because I haven't seen that video yet. I'm only on the phone here with you. But the parts of the airplane I saw did not have any burn marks on them. And again, I'm just trampling over them. And in the first video I sent in and put on, I'm tripping over the airplane parts before I realize what I'm tripping on. And then an officer says, hey, this is a debris field here from the airplane. And that's it. So we don't know what happened. We just know that an airplane crashed here somehow. And there's parts of the airplane long before where the fires are burning. They're in the Roosevelt Mall parking lot in front of the T-Mobile store. And that is a good 200, 300, 400 yards from where I'm looking at a fire burning right now outside the driveway of the Roosevelt Mall. So who knows what happened? I'm sure police don't know what happened. They're just trying to rescue people, and we don't know how many people were in cars here, and their lives were in danger as well. So this is ongoing, and now the smoke, I'm trying to get out of the smoke has adjusted. I'm trying to move so I can breathe and see here, Jason. But the smoke is now shifting all different ways. Wow.
It sounds like the debris field is at least a couple of blocks wide. And as you said, it would be, you've got the Northeast Philly Airport not too far away. How far is the Northeast Philly Airport from you, from where you're standing?
One other thing, Jason, I'm hearing minor explosions out. When I got here, I was hearing explosions. I don't know if they were gas tanks or car tires that blow up when they're burning on fire as well. The Northeast Philly Airport is very close to here. In fact, when you're up here,
once again, I have to say hearts go out to anybody who's been affected or who's related to the passengers, the pilots, or people who live in the area who've been hurt or injured by what has taken place. Again, in 2 days for there to be two incidents, two plane crashes of this magnitude is just completely hard to fathom. Second report, and this is taken from a live in the moment report, and I'm sure there's going to be in stories and a clearer picture of what actually took place and the extent of the damage that will be coming out on a minute-to-minute basis. I'll do my best to keep you up to date as the information comes in.
Yeah. I'm going to put this microphone on the stand.
Go ahead.
And then we can take a listen, okay?
You got it, Josh. We will definitely come back to you when it starts. But as you can see, the mayor should be there very soon, along with other officials from the city of Philadelphia, to discuss the crash of this Learjet 55. Let's talk about it more right now and go back out to the scene. I believe Carrie Corrado is standing by with more information. Carrie?
Yuki, this is all hands on deck. Every police officer, every firefighter is here trying to help. Everywhere you look, you can see flashing police lights here, and people are out really trying to figure out what exactly is going on. I spoke with a man who says he saw the explosion from the crash, and then he got out of his car and he just ran. Another man says he saw a massive fireball, and then another young boy we spoke with say he saw the plane coming down. Many people are also out here showing me some videos that they have that captured the plane coming down and then the massive explosion after that. So many people captured this on their Ring camera or on their cell phones. There's many witnesses accounts because many people live, work, and shop around here. People are everywhere. So are emergency responders, like I mentioned. Everywhere you look, you can see police running around trying to figure this all out. The entire area, though, traffic-wise, is gridlocked. Streets and roads are blocked off, and we were even rerouted all over the place. So it's very difficult to get around here if you live around here. It's also raining, so investigators and emergency responders are battling all of this through the rain. Investigators are here trying to figure out exactly what happened, but overall, a very chaotic scene here.
No doubt about that. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Once again, if you are just joining us, a small plane, a Learjet 55, has crashed in northeast Philadelphia. 6 people on board, 2 doctors, 2 pilots, a patient, a family member of that patient.
And there's been other video footage, smartphone footage that have come in from witnesses and people who were in the area as it actually happened. From what I understand, so this is in northeast Philly. There's multiple fire departments, fire vehicles on the scene. So I guess every fire department in the city is going to be involved in something because as huge and sudden and devastating as this plane crash. So it's taken place right before the Boulevard Roosevelt Mall. From what I understand, there's witnesses who've described cars being on fire, and debris found on the ground. And one commentator reported there were 2 fires taking place at this stage. I think they weren't sure exactly what happened. And he came across pieces of the plane in a parking lot. I think it was maybe a supermarket parking lot. He found pieces of the plane, and the smell of jet fuel was reported in the area. The debris field is a wide debris field. One of the reporters described it as being maybe covering multiple blocks. A Learjet 55 described as a small plane. I would just say this is hard to fathom. Within 2 days, just about, you had the DC collision with the Black Hawk helicopter and the passenger plane with 65 plus people on the flight, who I don't think there's any reports of any survivors. And it was mentioned that there were some kids on their way back from, I think, a sports training type retreat, and 2 skaters, one of them being a celebrated Russian skater, who were actually teaching the kids at the training camp. And sadly, everybody in that incident has lost their life. So it's been a devastating week for Americans and America. This is the DC crash was the worst reported in the last 20 years, plane crash from what I understand. And they're still sorting out that emergency. And now another plane crash just happened. Generally, for anyone who takes plane flights regularly or infrequently, you get on the plane, you take off, you land, you take it on board that you assume that it's fairly safe. We don't hear about plane crashes every day. From what I understand, the statistics are, this is something that doesn't occur as frequently. Well, fortunately, doesn't occur frequently, although it's hard to say in terms of how these stories are reported globally. I don't think, it's just that now it's easier to report these things. Nothing like this would happen without it becoming a global story, the fact that it's happening in the United States. And I just say again, it's something that is hard to fathom. And the fact that in 2 days, there's been 2 major airplane crashes, and this is a real-time story. It's developing as I speak, so I'll try and keep you as up to date as I can as a clearer picture unfolds. It's been a very sad day, very tragic last few days, particularly for the people in the aviation industry and all those affected by these 2 completely unexpected tragedies. If you can, be good, be safe when you can, particularly when things like this happen. It does make you reflect on safety and how our lives can be touched in a blink by tragedy, sadly. Be creative where possible. For now, only idea here at Corner Speak. I wish I could end on a better note. We out.